Welcome to the Krinzman Property Playbook, your inside look at South Florida real estate. I'm your host, Matthew Krinzman, bringing you real strategies, real insights, and real connections that help you buy, sell, and invest with confidence. With over 2 decades of experience as a licensed realtor and broker associate, I've watched South Florida grow from a quiet getaway to a global destination, and I'm here to help you navigate it like a pro. My business thrives on trusted relationships, with many of my clients being repeat and referrals. This podcast is brought to you by me, Matthew Krinzman, a Sotheby's International Realty agent. For more info, visit buysellmiamire.com. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone out there. My name is Matthew Krinzman. I am the host of the Krinzman Property Playbook. And today I have a guest, Karen Silberman, who is the founder and owner of Phone Valet. So today we're doing a little something off topic from real estate. We're talking about something that doesn't really involve real estate, although Karen at one point was a very good real estate agent here locally. And that's how I know Karen. And we've known Karen for...
They needed me somewhere else right now.
You needed somewhere else to do good at somewhere else and bring your talents to a whole new world. And, real estate does miss you for it, but, at the same time, you're on a new endeavor, a new path, and that's phenomenal. So, Karen, tell us what it is.
It is very exciting. We are the presence keepers at celebrations. Mainly right now, what we're doing is we are called the Phone Valet. We're a premier phone check service.
Phone check service. What is that?
Okay. So let's say you're throwing a party, a bar mitzvah, a quinceañera, a wedding, a corporate retreat, team building event, summits. You'd call the Phone Valet. Think of it like a coat check for cell phones.
Coat check for cell phones. Okay.
Yes. As your guests enter the party, they know immediately when they see us that they're in for something special. We are stationed at the front, very warmly, politely, elegantly collect phones.
Okay. Politely and elegantly. I like that. Okay.
Sure. At the host request. So we're hired by a host, collect the guest phones. Mainly what we do we're doing right now kid events, mostly teens. And I started this because my son is 13 and I was on a bar mitzvah circuit with him.
Sure.
We were going to these beautiful events, these beautiful bar mitzvahs. And it was about, at some point complaining like all of the other parents, look at these kids, look at them congregated over there on the sofa, heads down, the party's going on around them. And
they're not being present.
Right. They're not, They don't know. They don't know. They didn't grow up that way.
It's not like when we were kids, when we went to these parties and we were forced into the middle of the dance floor. You had to dance. You had to participate. You remember those, the Thai dancers and all that?
Yes, I do. It was really fun time.
It became fun because you're first like, I don't want to do that. And then you get into the mood, you get in the groove of it, and you're like, I'm having a good time now.
How many social skills did you develop being one situations?
Well, you had to. You had no other choice. You could either sit in the corner or you had to participate. So there was no ways. And sometimes you were forced to participate against your own free will, but I think you were better for it because you had to be in there. You were forced to participate and be present at the party or in the group situation and setting, and it ended up being a good time in the end, right? We had a good time.
We do the same thing as adults. We have a moment of uncomfort and immediately we grab our cell phone. We have a moment or we see someone else on their phone and that is what really starts a chain reaction at events.
100%.
You grabbed your phone. That means
I can grab mine.
What is it?
I can grab mine. I can grab my phone now.
Sure. Right? You're signaling to others it's okay. And it starts a chain reaction. And that party that you envisioned, that celebration, that laughter, that dancing, that excitement is just slowly exiting the room.
Because you're being involved in the phone. You're checking your Instagram. You're checking your TikTok, whatever it is. You're just not, you're away from you're mentally away,
right? You're there physically, but you're taking your mental state
Right.
away from where you are and not enjoying what you're at, where you're at, or what you're doing.
So much more research and so much more awareness now. And I actually posted something from a psychologist that I love what she shared,
Mhm.
that just having your phone out in front of you while taking a test makes you 10% or score 10% less on a test just by seeing the phone. Your head is somewhere, 10% of your head is just somewhere on what's going on in that phone.
Because you're chasing endorphins, I guess, is right. You're chasing that high. They give you
Right.
that momentary, like, oh, someone responded to my
That
post.
thing, yes, that excitement, that keep going, check what, and maybe you started looking a WhatsApp message, but by the way, you ended up in Instagram, which by the way led you to check something in Facebook. And then again, we know phones aren't going to go anywhere. I love
No.
phones. I love
Me
tech.
too. Me too.
We are focused on the everywhere.
Yeah.
So we are our service at bar mitzvahs, at parties, at private events. Maybe you want some privacy. Maybe
Sure.
you want a little bit more attention. Whatever your reason is, we're who you call when you want that. When you want the
So
phones
yeah,
parked,
go ahead.
like valet parking, we park
Yeah.
phones.
It's now it's going to be part of the event. Like you said, you have valet parking. Now you have valet phone. You valet your phone for the time you're there. I mean, I seen where they're doing these things at concerts, is, like where they don't want the phones because they don't want anyone to bootleg or video what the concert is or the comedian is saying.
Right. And most just say they have the most amazing time. They're so excited when they leave. They have this experience where,
Yeah.
they have access to other people that are standing next to them, and maybe they want to talk to them. Maybe it's just a room filled with potential surprises or
Potentials. I
things
like
that
that.
you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's, look, the phone takes us away from that, right? We just said that before, but it's also like, it's a crutch in a way.
Right. It
Becomes a
blocks
crutch.
experience. It's a blocker.
Exactly.
Right.
That's a good way of saying it. It's a blocker. Hey, Kobe, be quiet. Kidding.
I knew that was going to
That's my
happen.
part of it. It's okay. It's okay. Look, this is all part of, Kobe has something to say about the phones and being present. So this came to you as an idea from what you and your son, when you were going with your son on the bar mitzvah circuit. The idea was for you to start the phone valet was born out of what you were seeing on the bar mitzvah circuit with your son before you even started your.
Right. It started out that way. The one thing that pushed me over
Mhm.
was talking to a mother who was just sharing about her own party and her experience. And she was so devastated. She was like,
Really?
yeah, it was really sad for her to think about that, what should have been one of the best days ever. It was really sad for her to think about and to look back. She said, Karen, I looked at the tables around and all of the girls had their heads down into their phones. And I, it was just not what I wanted, not what I expected.
Mhm.
And so you have to plan for this. You have to know that I wanted her to share. And
Mhm.
I really sat thinking, well, okay, kids need their phones because they have to say, okay, I'm ready to go home, or
Sure.
I want to get picked up now. I don't whatever.
Okay.
You do need phones, but you don't need it the entire time. So we set up a system where, like a coat check or like a valet, if
Hmm.
you need the phone, we are here. You can come back and check your phone.
Right.
So there is some kind of participation that is needed by the parents where, for example, and parents worry is their that's a real thing. They want to know that they can reach their kid. They want
Of
to know their
course.
at the
Yeah.
so
Sure.
can't just say, don't send them to the party with the phones anymore. Or let's all get together and try to make a pledge it's very unlikely that it's going to work. It's
Yeah.
probably going to work.
Right.
They're going to say, yes, it's great. But at the end of the day, that's their security.
Yeah. It's the same thing for adults too. I mean, I'm guilty of it. Definitely guilty of it as well. it's something to have a hold on to while you're there. And I mean, obviously getting in touch with someone for an emergency or whatever, that's one thing, but I think it's more of like, I need to know what's going on. It's that, that, like I said, you're chasing the dopamine, and you
Yeah. Have you
constantly,
ever been to a concert where they collected your phones?
I can't say I have, not yet, but I know they're doing them. I've seen them, I know
They're
it.
doing them, and
Yeah,
people are having the best time, and they're coming out of these concerts, and they're still going, knowing
sure.
that they're going to collect their phone, and they still go. So
Right.
the idea was to create a system that answered all these concerns. If
Okay.
you wanted to use your phone to check in, I don't know, I would like to tell you that they're calling that the events that we've done over a dozen events. We've done over, different kind of events.
Hmm.
And I could tell you that when they come, and some of them do come up to the stand and ask to use the phone, that they need to call their parents. In research mode, are you calling your parents or are you checking Snapchat?
That's funny.
Or most of them are checking their Snapchat.
Really?
Maybe some here and there, they're texting their parents, whatever
Sure.
they text. All is good. I'm having fun.
Right. The food's good or something like that.
Yeah.
Come pick me up at this time. Yeah. Normal. How do you, when you go, obviously the parents or whoever's hiring you, they're kind of already bought into the idea that there should be
Oh,
no
I
phone.
love talking to people
Yeah.
who get it right away.
Yeah.
When they call the phone valet, they are so excited. They're like,
But how do you, okay, so those people are excited, but how do you then sell to someone else who's like, I don't know, Karen, how are you going to get these phones out of their hands? How are we going to be able to survive 3 hours,
oh,
4 hours without it?
we've done it. And
Yeah.
again, we let them know our attendants are very trained. They go through a rigorous training before any event. Whatever you're worried about, whatever most parents or people or hosts are worried about, doesn't happen.
Okay.
We've done a dozen events. It's a very easy, smooth, polite. They arrive. Remember, they're invited guests. And remember, it's not my own kid. It's
Right.
somebody,
Else's child.
it's a professional person this is what we're doing tonight. And most everyone complies with zero issue.
Really?
Zero issue.
You don't
They
get,
love-
I mean, you must get, there must be a little bit of pushback when you get someone is like, when you say, hey, you gotta give up your phone for this time. No one ever says, nah, I can't do it. No, it's not happening. What are you going to,
So I'll tell you a funny story. There
Sure.
was a girl at a party, and she was a little, it was at one of our first parties, maybe second, where we were already charging,
Sure.
after we were piloting
Right.
some of these. And I let her through. I just turned a blind eye and just let her through. Turns out later on that she was the daughter of somebody that I knew. And he texted me, thanks for letting so-and-so keep her phone. I couldn't reach her the entire night. She was afraid to take it out of her purse.
So,
It turned
yeah,
out worse for her, because if she would have turned it in, she could have come to the stand in the same way that they kind of take, any kind of break, a bathroom break, maybe,
Sure.
whatever. Check your phone, call your mom, maybe, and go back to the party. Go
Right.
dance, go have fun, go sit around and talk. It's really, really nice to see when you go back at some point in the event, it quiets down at the stand. It's really busy during the first hour, I would say.
Yeah.
And then I love going back to the party to see what it's like. Is it
What
really
is it like?
so strange? Is it so unbearable? They're having the best time.
But, a lot of a lot of people will say, well, I need the phone so I can take pictures, and see my friends and, take pictures of the, the party with everyone. Does that come up? Because I know from adults, everyone's like, oh, I got to take a picture of this. I got to be there. Hey, take a picture with me. I would imagine it's the same for kids in some way.
Right. It's the same for kids and adults. The truth is that we do get that question a lot. We offer, or we suggest, that when they let their guests know that it's a phone-free zone or
Yeah.
phone-free event, that they let them know so that they could bring digital
Cameras.
cameras a lot. Yes, cameras take pictures.
Do we
and
still have them?
They can buy
You
them
know,
on
this, you're talking about the cameras. This may be a great opportunity for the comeback of the disposable camera. Remember when those were popular at events when you used to put them
Actually,
on
not
tape.
even disposables. They're getting
No,
digital cameras and they are super back in. They're very trendy
who
right now.
knew?
Well, you gotta keep updated at what's going on with
No, this is great. I love it, but I think there'd be an opportunity for Kodak to come back. I mean, they're dead, but to have come back with the disposable cameras, and everybody, that was fun. I remember, this is still, obviously aging myself, but it's still like, I think even at my own wedding, we had disposable cameras, and that's not too long ago. I mean, in the scheme of digital life and digital world, the digital, those were fun because you'd like take, you were taking pictures, but you didn't know what's going to develop. So, half the fun was to see
that
what develop,
right.
right?
And what surprised me is that they knew how to use them.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, they knew how to use them. And what was really nice is when they would get together, one picture
Uh-huh.
was taken and not, sometimes, I don't know if you had this experience, but I can tell you just from me and my girlfriends, if we get together and take a picture, there's like 6, 7 cameras going around that on this phone and that
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah. Oh, I know the carousel of the phones. Like, oh yeah, I take with my camera. And
Right.
I tell you the truth, that's kind of tiring because I've been involved every time. I'm like, I'm not smiling anymore. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. And most of these events have professional
Sure.
photographers.
Yeah.
They have a photo booth. I'll tell you, our biggest fans, our biggest supporters are photographers. They love to see us at events. They are so happy we are there. Think about it. How much easier is it for them to catch
An in
video?
the moment photo and the video. Yeah, sure. Because they're not competing with everyone else with their cameras, their phones out, snapping pictures, and even with flashes, ruining their lighting at the same time.
Yeah, I
But
was
that's
really
what happens.
surprised. I was really surprised at what cheerleaders the photographers were. They were
That's
like
great. So,
really thankful.
by the way, now you're talking about this, about them being a cheerleader for you. That's a great opportunity to connect with other those professionals in the events world space. Hey, as photographers, to get them to recommend you to the people who are doing these events. By the way, here's Karen and Karen Silberman, and here's her Phone Valet. Look, I've been at a party where she had the Phone Valet, and let me tell you, your photos are going to come out 1,000 times better. That you're paying me all this money to be here for.
Right.
The Phone Valet being helping you out.
This is such a fundamental starting point.
Mm-hmm.
I would say venue and then the phone valet. It's one of the things that it's going to protect your event. It's going to protect your investment,
Sure.
and it's going to make everything so much more fun. They took phones out of schools. There's a
Yeah,
phone in Florida.
that's great.
And it's been amazing from what I hear from the whole screen-free movement. An interesting thing that Jonathan Haidt, who wrote The Anxious Generation, talks
Yeah.
about is cafeterias and how much more food is being consumed by these children.
Really?
Once they got the phones out of the schools, the lunch time was dedicated to lunch, to eating.
Well, don't look. I mean, we still can remember when we were kids going to school in the cafeteria. The cafeteria was also when lunchtime was a time when you were with your friends, whoever you were sitting with, and you were talking to them about whatever it was. As a kid, I remember when we talked about football, talked to Miami Dolphins, or we talk about the test we just had, or what are we going to do this week, or whose bar mitzvah are we going to, and things like that. So conversation, kids are having conversation again. I think that's what the lunchtime. They're eating and they're having a conversation at lunch, which is a lost art, I think, in some ways, having a conversation with people, right? Because we're so consumed by the screen and what's going on and having to know everything that's going on in the world. And it doesn't affect us necessarily, right? Oh, this just happened. I'm like, yeah, but does it affect you? No. So who cares? Let's, talk about whatever else is affecting your life or whatever you're interested in. So you're creating a space for people to actually not only be present, but you're also creating a space where they can have a conversation with each other and actually talk.
They can engage. I'll tell you, one thing that I love to share is when they exit a phone-free party, when they come pick up their phone, we ask them in a very casual way, how'd it go? How was it? Not to make they said, oh, it was great. Everyone was partying. It was great. My friends my friends weren't in the screen. It's really funny how people don't see themselves and they see their friends, or the kids rather. They
Yeah.
look at their friends being, oh, I don't have a problem, but my friends were this party.
Right. I like that. I don't have a problem, but they do.
Oh, I'm not. But thankfully, my friends, they were available. They were more accessible. There's just such a nice, like, all together feeling when you go to an event, whether it's a concert or it's a private event, which is what we specialize in
Right.
private events. It's game changing.
So at these parties, do you have adults that give up their phones, or they hang on to them too? Hang on to their phones?
Okay, so we do a raffle. You turn in your phone, you're automatically in the raffle, and you'll know when you pick up your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Adults do not have to turn in their phone, because I think it's a little easier if we just let them know to keep it in their purses or their pockets. It really still sets a tone for but if they
Right.
want to turn it in, which you'd be surprised at how many adults appreciate the tech break and turn in their phones to us,
Right.
then they are also in for the raffle, which some of them are. Some parties.
I'll tell you this much. If I were at a party and it was offered, I think I'd be willing to give my phone up for the time, because it'd be one less distraction that I have. Then
Yeah.
I can enjoy wherever I am, the event, whatever it is, and I don't have to be distracted by my phone. Because we've now lived long enough with these pocket computers and our phone with us for a good amount of time, that we too now are having I like to say we have an addiction to the screen as well, as much as kids do, I think. So I would happily give up my phone for a little bit, just so I can not have to think, oh, where's my phone? In my pocket? Or things like that.
How fun is it when you really do forget your phone in the
Oh,
car and you're in a restaurant?
I've done it on purpose. I tried to do it on purpose a few times. And, for the first time, you get like, you think the phone, you're like, oh, even though you don't have the phone with you, but all of a sudden you feel like you're getting a buzzing, in your pocket. And it's just this ghost. And you're like, whoa, I don't have my phone. So it's weird, but at the same time, it's kind of nice not to have the phone with me at dinner, and not have it being an intrusion onto whatever it is that we are at, my wife and I, or anyone else I'm with, that I don't have that intrusion in my life at that point. I just can sit there, enjoy my meal, enjoy the conversation, enjoy whoever I'm with, and have a decent time and not have to worry about. But it's kind of freaky at first, you're like, oh, where's my phone? You think, because you're so used to having it in your pocket all the time.
And then you get to the car and you think you're going to have 90 messages and maybe, I don't know, 20 missed calls. And you get there and you're
It's
like,
not.
no one looked free.
No one
Nobody was
looked for
calling.
me. No one was calling, which is
Yeah.
fine.
Well,
I like that. I'm one personally at home. I rarely answer the phone as far as phone calls. Once I get home, especially if anything business related, sorry, people at home, no business. I try to not conduct business. And then usually my phone goes to silent at about 9:00 anyway. So if you're trying to get in touch with me, you talk to my voicemail, send a text message, and I'll get to you in the morning. But it does take some getting used to, not having to have that kind of discipline in it. I like it. I like when my phone goes to silent at 9:00. I like that no one can get in touch with me. But I do find myself still checking Instagram and social media like an addict, because I'm chasing that
Right.
dopamine, which maybe it's the next thing what I got to do is put one of those apps on my phone where it blocks me for a little bit amount of time, for whatever time I set it to.
Okay, that could work. I've tried to do screen time things, and I've tried to do a few things. To be honest, I love indulging in I let myself, and I call it the indulge.
Uh-huh.
And it's a certain day. I'm not going to tell you which day, and it's a certain time, and I'm not going to say when, but
Right.
I indulge.
Yeah.
However, at someone's special milestone, it's all about them celebration. I wouldn't, and a lot of adults wouldn't. The
Yeah.
problem is that the kids just don't have that same. They have the same urges, but maybe not the same self-control yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
We see this a lot in ed tech, where we're giving our kids all these Chromebooks and computers and things to learn and do homework off of. And on the side, there's still the YouTube.
But yeah, I've seen that. When they're watching YouTube at the same time while they're doing other things, and it's like, how?
No, they can't. terrible. It's very difficult.
I seen it with like, kids, my cousins, the kids, and
Right.
you see them like the YouTube, one hand, the YouTube, watching YouTube, another hand, they have some other screen going and they're watching a game on TV, but somehow, I don't know if they say they're able to, they're absorbing it all. They're paying attention to everything, but I don't know. Maybe the new generation has that ability. I definitely don't, and nor do I want that to develop that ability.
I don't think it's good for them. I think that
No.
again, more and more scientific research is showing that it's a
Good.
problem. It's going
Right.
to be it's a problem for schools. It's a problem for their attention. I mean, it's not a good way. I think we all just jumped into it.
Right.
Technology without the boundaries. Right now, we want to let them know, not here, not for a few hours, although we'll make it in the most comfortable way. We also, something that I really like about what we do is we dedicate a phone number to each event. So for example, you have a bar mitzvah for your son and you invited 50 of his friends. Remember, that comes with 50 parents
Yes.
that are now a little nervous because they can't call and text their little, Gabriel,
Yeah.
which again is a legit concern. And we provide a phone number for the event so that if you wanted to reach your child, you simply text their name and they call you right back.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you really, your niche is doing these events, doing these with kids. So how do you grow, or how are you attempting to grow your business?
I see this everywhere. I see this right now. We've entered through the kids, but I see that this is something that you're probably going to want more human to human interaction as technology
Takes over.
Okay, which is going to happen. So
Right.
wherever you can get this time together, this engaged, this connection, this attention, really it's a lot about attention. We want attention. We want, this is your wedding, right? When a bride walks down the aisle or comes out, she wants you clapping and maybe less cameras or maybe less photos or things like that. Whatever your reason is, it could be a million reasons. There could be family nights at your favorite restaurant with the phone valet. There can be.
Okay.
I see this as saying to the universe or to the world, to technology, okay, not here, not at this time, not at this is the only way. Physical distance, physical separation creates psychological separation.
Yes.
We are all about wellness. We are all about, there is a movement. There is a lot of screen-free, real-life experience. I can't call it anything except a movement where more and more people are joining in, jumping in. Awareness is growing, and that's what they want to see.
That's great.
What you feel. It's all about what you want to feel. If you want to feel it, you'll see the phone valet.
Great. So, Karen, how do they find you? How do people find the phone valet? How do they get in touch?
Website. They can go to our website.
What's the name?
thePhoneValet.com, and we have an Instagram.
What is it?
The Phone Valet.
They
could check out some clips of events that we've done before. Some events, we're doing one next week.
Right.
We get phone calls all the time. Every time. I think that it's right now being spread through WhatsApp groups. That's the majority of our word of mouth. That's the majority of where our inquiries come from. But you will soon start to see more from us.
Momentum coming from it. You'll see more momentum growing as you're doing more and more. You'll see the momentum growing.
I see that it's working exactly as it's supposed to and as it should. And people, I can't tell you the thank you letters and the thank you messages I get back from parents or from guests that were at an event that we were at, and they write me, thank you so much. I didn't have to. I just so much enjoyed the event. You have this, I don't know, this freedom. Like, when you go turn in your coat to the coat check and then you walk in and you're free.
Personally, it's been a while since I used a coat check, but
right.
I understand the analogy. I get it. Yeah.
They walk in, they're ready to go, they're ready to have fun. they want to come back to check their phone, we're there.
Yeah. All right. In closing, it seems like you're starting to help. You're starting a movement, a little bit. At least now on the, getting the kids more involved at their parties, getting the parents on board, getting the adults on board. Hopefully, this starts to grow, take a nice little snowball effect, and grow beyond where you are now here in South Florida, and hopefully take it throughout the state, and obviously then kind of take it nationwide. I guess that would be the end goal for you, correct? Have a
For
national
sure.
presence.
Absolutely. I would absolutely love to bring this to every city in the US.
So anyone from the Shark Tank who's listening or watching this, get Karen on the show. Let's see if we can get her a shark to join in and
Matthew,
be a partner.
This is Miami. The sharks are walking around. I am obsessed. I am all about the phone
That's
valet.
good.
I am
That's good.
focused. I am ready to do this, to bring connection.
Yeah. Look, everyone who's been watching this or listening to us, remember Karen Silberman can be reached at her website, thephonevalet.com, or on Instagram at thephonevalet. Check it out. It's worth it. If you especially have anything, you have kids or you're having a party at a big event you're spending a lot of money on and you want people to be present, the Phone Valet could be a great way to get people, your guests, to be more present, more involved, have a better time, have a great time at your party that you're spending a lot of money on, and you want people to be there for you, not with their phones and be on their phones the whole time, because the phone is not really a guest. And the phone does not participate. It's just there as a crutch for a lot of people, and we're chasing the dopamine. So let's remove that from the party and let's be present and have a good time. And let's bring back the Thai dance. I think we need to make Thai dance great again.
I
think we need the kids, those 13-year-old boys, to be forced into dancing with girls like they're, and have a good time with each other and have a great conversation. And like you said, even when they're at lunch now, not having a phone. Great way to connect with your friends again. So again, thank you everyone for watching, listening. This has been the Krinzman Property Playbook. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a comment, hit the subscribe button, share with your friends, especially if we're off topic today. We're not talking about real estate, but we're talking about something I think that's a little bigger than all of us. And we want people to be present and get our kids off the phones, off the screens, and have a good time with each other again, and not have to text each other while they're staying 2 feet from each other. And you have to use their mouths and their voices to have talk to each other and have a good time with. So again, thank you very much, Karen, for joining me today. I hope
my pleasure.
we
Thank
bring
you so much for having me, Matthew.
Pleasure, of course. Anytime. You got it.
Thank you.
That's it for today's episode of the Krinzman Property Playbook. I hope you've gained some valuable insights and feel inspired to take your next steps in the real estate game. If you're ready to make a move or need expert guidance, let's connect. Whether you're buying, selling, or looking to invest, I'm here to help you navigate the South Florida market with confidence. You can reach out to me directly through my website or on social media. Let's get the conversation started and make your real estate goals a reality. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on the Krinzman Property Playbook.